Good day, Madam Ose. Speaking here, it's Mate Charles Zonisani, student number 67413145. Yeah, here came up with a chart which I'm going to be presenting at the class, whereby students are going to be using this simple materials to have a practical visual on how to graph the chart of this function here, uh, y equals to mx plus c and y equal to ax squared plus bx plus c, which the first graph here it requires them to sketch a straight line graph, and this is the quadratic equation graph for which they are going to be using these strings here. The reason for me to be choosing this one is because everyone can easily access this is it A3 paper, which in case I used this book cover here, for which everyone can also access it. I chose this one because it's easy for learners to come up with this exactly this size of a paper. So now the reason that I used strings unlike a permanent marker is because when you use strings, then for the first part here, it's easy for them to adjust these strings to be able to graph uh, different graphs as the question requests them to do. So for the first part here, I'm going to be using this strong wire here for the quadratic equation, for which the original equation of this is going to pass here, and this copper wire for the straight line graph, which is going to be looking like this. So every learner must be able to produce such a graph with using these strings. For this thing, the reason that I chose this thing is because it's easy for learners to also change these strings and bend it the way the question will require them to sketch this one. And I think this method is good for learners because they are going to be fully engaged in the activity, and the content it will fully engage them in the participation in the class, and they'll enjoy doing this. So for the first part here, for this graph y equal to mx plus c, it is represented by the copper wire here, and the graph here y equals to ax squared plus bx plus c, which is the quadratic equation, it is represented by this gray wire here. So for the second part here, number 2, to sketch this one, y equals to 2x plus 1, it will be done by this string, for which it is going to be like this. And then for this one here, they'll have to change this one, find the coordinates of this one, which is the graph is going to be turning on minus 3 and 1 here. It's going to look like this. It's going to look like this. The wires are easy to use because you can easily bend them according to how you have to graph your. Then this other one is going to be like this. So I think this one is going to be easy in the classroom for learners to engage fully, and they are going to participate using this one, and everyone is expected to have this one, because the materials is something that people learners are going to get easily. They're not going to struggle to get these ones. So here we'll be teaching them how to graph them. They should have the imagination how these things, they can move these things. It's easy to understand, and I think this is the best option that I could have I came up with. So it's easy. You only use strings, 2 strings copper wire and a this gray wire. You need a pen and pencil to draw your x-axis, so everyone can easily access this one. So learners are going to be enjoying this type of learning, and they're going to fully understand these things. Thank you.